Hello, everyone. I'm Jack from DeRazzled, the podcast that takes award-winning worst films, fixes them. But today, I'll be working on the logo for DeRazzled. This will be, I think, the fourth video I've done on this, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be the last one. I hope. So, since the last time I showed Jins the logo, I worked on a little bit. I'll change the camera here so you can see what I'm looking at. Ciao. So I added some glitter. Well, I added a lot of glitter to the pre-existing raspberries. They are currently on the base. As you can see, the videotape is going to go on top. Currently, the VHS says it's Meeting at Midnight, a Charlie Chan movie. But eventually that will say DERP, which is the abbreviation for DeRazzled. And then up here, once we take the picture of it digitally, it'll say like DeRazzled, like bright neon, neon-y goodness. But for today, I want to. The problem was I ran out of raspberries last time, which kind of you needed. I'll just have the videotape off to the side, so you don't really need that right now. And I pre-painted the raspberries. Did not pre-glitter them though, so either that will happen while I'm streaming, or hot glue, or I'll do it afterwards because I use a delicious spray adhesive, which gets everywhere. Yeah, so we'll just start by poking around and see where I can add these little guys. So I want to make it look like a cereal commercial where the cereal box falls into a cereal bowl. It's like a mound of Chex Mix or Frosted Flakes, and there's just a big old mound of it. So to build out the bottom, might as well start there. Yeah. Move this mic here. So the last couple of live streams I've done, I haven't done as much rambling as far as using you people as an audience for my therapy. Don't you worry, it's back. We're gonna do it tonight. Let's see. Last time I got pretty lucky, didn't burn myself on the hot glue gun at all. So currently, as of the beginning of this live stream, we're up to 1. We'll see how it goes. I really need another light. Jesus. That's fine. I'll just use my eyeballs to see. Those silly things. So life's been a thing this week. Just a real pain in the keister. So I'm doing me art stuff, right? And I'm pretty happy with how that's going. As far as working on DeRazzled and the film and the comic and all of those various shenanigans, the novel. But then life finds a way to fuck you. So some of you are aware. Had a bit of lately it's been a bit of a struggle with this apartment that I'm living in. You see a beautiful studio in front of you, but I see a shithole. But it's a big shithole, and that was the appeal of the apartment. It's big, a lot of space. It's like pretty well located, and it's not too far away from where I work. It's a little bit of a walk, but not too bad. And there's some glue sticks on the ready. But I mean, it's always kind of been. I mean, it's a step above like student housing. Like as far as the apartments I lived in college, those were always kind of falling apart. Like I don't think I could find an apartment when I was in college that wasn't run by a slumlord. As you do. But and like rent's high for this place, but it's not bad given the area. Excuse me. So like Belinda and I kind of put up with it until the ceiling started to fall in various areas, and that's not where you want the ceiling to go. You generally like it to stay up and not down. But we don't always get what we want, do we? Fuck. So, it happens. Like, I don't think I've ever lived a place except for when I lived with first Nate, then Scott, then Brittany. I'm trying to, like, not disclose where I live. The BBT, right? It's an acronym. It looked like the kind of place where the ceiling would fall in, but like, no, that place was pretty sturdy. Thanks, Steve. Kind of wish I still lived there. Probably the only landlord I've ever had that I'm like, I like my landlord. He's a pretty cool dude. I mean, it didn't hurt that when I went to pay rent, he's like, hey, Nate called. He said the drink's on him. And then he would pour me a draft of Big Hop, which is so good. Oh my god, I miss it. But yada yada yada. That apartment no longer exists. I mean, in the same way that it did before. So I moved here, and then things started to fall apart. It's like the lamest ghost story. Instead of like slowly seeing things out of the corner of your eye, you're like, well, was that ceiling hanging like that before? I don't quite remember that. So our living room ceiling fell in like a big way. Well, I guess before that, part of the ceiling in my bedroom fell in a small way. It damaged some action figures I had in package, which was not cool. But that's neither here nor there. But long story short, we went to the landlord and we're like, hey, the ceiling is not staying where the ceiling should be. You want to do something about that? He's like, oh yeah, no problem. Comes and hangs out and plasters spackles. He uses spackling over the ceiling instead of it has tiles, and instead of putting up new tiles or fixing the root of the problem, which is a leak, he's like, little spackle, that'll do her. Let's see what we got here. Okay, yeah, the base is coming out a little bit. So he did that. He in his mind he fixed it, the ceiling. To the rest of the world, it was good. It was a good laugh, and to Belinda and I, it was a good cry. but like he and I got into it a couple times because I'm like, hey man, I see you're coming over to like fix the thing that we had no desire to be fixed or didn't ask for it to be fixed. I mean, neat if you want to do that. But what about the ceiling? And he was a real dickhead about it, and um, I had to tell him to leave me the fuck alone for harassment. And then we called an inspector, and the inspector came and was like, oh, wow, and wrote like a page or two of citations, sent it to our landlord, and our landlord was not happy. Um, but like, what are you gonna do, man? It's the government. Like, you can be angry at us, but like, regardless, you got to do the fixing. And that kind of brings us to where we are now, where he is coming in twice a week, and like, it's still tense, right? Like, we did report him to the county apartment safety people, whatever they're called. And so he comes in like twice a week and he's like, I'm going to do the fixing things that the government sent me a list of things to fix. I'm like, that's cool. What about the ceiling? He's like, yep, that's on there too. Has not touched the ceiling. This raspberry doesn't want to stay there. He ain't there yet. And like, that would be cool, right? Like, rent's high-ish here, but it's not the worst. It's a lot of space, like positives. And then I start to see the fixes that he's making to the apartment. Oh God, they're really. I wish I could show you because they're really bad. Like, he had to put railings in. Like, this is not a dude who knows how to do that shit, but he is very cheap, so he's doing it all himself. Like, one of the problems was like the reason that my studio is in the basement is because it used to be in the attic, which was great. It was a great setup. I'm sure this is. All right. I think we can kind of build up here a little bit more now. Because I'm already running out of raspberries. Son of a bitch. It's two. Two for those who are counting. 2 burns so far. Where did I just put the red? Oh, there we go. So the ceiling is at a slant in the attic, right over my desk, or where my desk was formerly. And I was like, well, that's probably some of the more expensive stuff I have in this house or that I own. Could you fix that? And he was required to by the city inspector. So where the ceiling was kind of like coming away, instead of putting it back up there or replacing it with some like newer ceiling, he took, I don't know what it's called exactly, but like the foam spray, foam insulation, and just kind of like sprayed it in that hole, and it's like, there, I'll fix it. No holes anymore. I'm like, well, the hole wasn't the problem. The falling was really more the problem. But hey, what do I know? I'm a theater major. So what I'm getting at is he I'm not going to argue with him while he's in my apartment about like, you're not doing this right, because I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing either. Again, theater major. But the inspector is scheduled to come back within a month, see what progress he's made, if any, and then at that point he will be cited and fined. Or I guess just fined. He's already been cited. I don't know how that works. And from what I'm seeing, these fixes, they're not like, the inspector's going to take one look and be like, haha, nope. And then that's when my landlord will be like, I'll try again. And he'll try again to fix the things that he does not know how to fix instead of paying a professional to do it. And this cycle will continue until I murder him. And I don't think I'd do well in prison. And like, I don't really like seeing him. He's kind of obnoxious. 3. So I don't really want him to be coming into the apartment for the foreseeable future. Forever and ever, amen. And neither does Belinda, and that was kind of the conversation we had on Tuesday. Was one, like, neither of us can really afford this place. Plus, like, the ceiling doesn't stay where a ceiling normally goes. Plus, our landlord's basically another roommate, but doesn't pay rent, and we're not happy about any of that. So, we've documented all the stupid shit that he's done, because both of us have had awful landlords before, and we're confident that we can get out of the lease if he doesn't just say, like, yes, please go. No one's ever held me accountable before. But Belinda has a place over on the north side that she's been looking at. The downside of this, we'll do the upside first. The upside is it's way cheaper than this place. She knows the landlord and the super. I've met the super before, the superintendent. Cool dude, knowledgeable. Like, I've seen him fix shit before. I'm like, oh, pretty good. So those are advantages. It'll be quieter, but like, it's pretty quiet here as it is. That's looking like it's very front heavy. I'm gonna have to mount it to something. Bloop. But it's finally, like, building out the way I want it to. Oh God. The ceiling would stay where a ceiling would go, and if it didn't, then it would get fixed promptly and without argument. Which again is like, man, nice. Son of a gun. I suppose I'm making up for all the not getting burnt the last time I did this. The downsides is that, so, like, I don't have a driver's license. The reason being that when everyone else was being taught how to drive, between the ages of 14 and 18, my parents were like, let's get divorced. That'll be a great time to get divorced. And, like, I approve of this divorce, but also, could you teach me how to drive? One of you, both of you? No? All right. Guess I'll just go make out with people, which was not a bad thing, but it didn't help me learn how to drive. And once I was able to leave, I immediately went to college, where I keep bumping that mic. Sorry, anybody who's trying to listen. Whereas, like, well, now the priority is to get a degree and still make out. Check and check. But no driver's license. And then as soon as I graduated, I moved to Pittsburgh, and it just was never an immediate priority, right? So, like, I was able to always get around. I was always able to live in a place where I could, like, get around, like walk or bus if necessary. But if I live on the north side, I would be waking up an additional, like, hour and a half earlier than I already do. And I, like, wake up at 5 for, like, a morning shift. I don't really want to wake up at 3:30 for a shift that doesn't start till 7. Pretty good on not doing that, especially because I would have to cut back on the stuff that I do enjoy, like podcasting or drawing or all those shenanigans. So in order for us to move from here to there, I would need to learn how to drive. And Belinda's like, how quickly can you learn how to do that? Because the place will open up in, like, a month. I'm like, well, longer than a month, because I don't have like a learner's permit or anything. All right, let's take a look at what we got. It's doing a thing. And build it up a little bit more on my left, your right. All right, yeah, we're getting there. So I needed to learn how to drive so I could get to work, which, for those who followed along, had I gotten the job that I thought I was going to get, this would not be an issue. I mean, yeah, like I still need to learn how to drive. Like it's a thing that needs to happen in our modern times. Like it's just easier, but it wouldn't be such like a I need to pack to move and learn how to drive so I can drive across the city to go to a job that I don't like. So that was the discussion all on Tuesday, and I sat her down. I was like, "Listen, I agree with all the things you're saying. Thanks for hanging out, Sarah. Enjoy your evening and weekend." But what was I saying? Beep boop beep boop. That was Tuesday, and today is, I've been told, Friday. So instead of having a mental breakdown, which is what I would have done in my youth, I sat down and made a list of here are the things that need to happen in order to reach the end goal, right? So like part of the reason we also are moving is because like where we're living right now, we're not able to save any money for anything. But like ideally, we would like to end up in Portland in the not too distant future. We visited there once and really enjoyed it and felt comfortable there. I'd like to visit again, just so that it wasn't like a one-time fluke and I'm like, we're moving there. Come on now. Okay, all right. No, it's fine. No, you're gonna see there. You son of a bitch. Seems this raspberry doesn't want to stay there. Move this out of the way so I get blue. So I wrote everything down that needs to happen in order for us to A, move out of this shithole, B, move into a place that's cheaper, 3, or C, maintain a job under this capitalist regime, and eventually D4 move to Portland. All right, you stay there. And it's not a short list, but oh no, well, piss, lost my raspberries. It's not a short list, but it's writing it all out was doable. Pardon me, like gather my raspberries. Well, this is all the raspberries I have left anyhow, so I'm gonna have to make them count. Be a little bit more strategic about these last couple, their placement. So like what I kind of feel like that scene in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. I think it's the scene in that movie where they're like throwing shit overboard to keep the plane flying. Maybe it's just a metaphor, and I'm applying it to that movie because I love it. Where I'm like, what all can I cut out of my life and still not fall into a deep dark depression, which is always a possibility. really don't want to glue that to the tape, but I do like that there. I'm gonna place some of these and see. 6, I think. We're up to six hot glue gun burns. For those who are betting. Yeah, like that there. So unfortunately, the novel is put on the back burner, right? Like, it's the only thing that doesn't really have a deadline. It doesn't affect anybody else's schedule, except for, it doesn't affect anybody really, except for myself. Like, nobody else is going to be pissed that I can't like work on the novel. Here's somebody upstairs. Sure hope that's Belinda and that I'm not being robbed and or murdered. We'll see. Might be a more entertaining stream than previously thought. Maybe build this out over this way. So cut out the novel. I did postpone recording the 3rd episode of DeRazzled. Just a week though. Like, I don't want to put it off too long. It's just the momentum I've started building by streaming and podcasting. It's still early enough in the process that like it could easily die off, and I don't want that. So this week I'm spending time getting stuff crossed off my list that I know I can, like this, like the DeRazzled logo. I'm really close to having it finished, so I'm working on that. And the script for the next episode of DeRazzled, I'm like 75, almost 80% done with that, so I'll get that taken care of. Come on now. I'm so close to being done with the final page, drawing the final page of the Knifebreaker comic, and would have been done last night, but my goggles that I wear, not goggles, but like I have like magnifying glasses. They died. They for $15. They sure did last a long time, but the part that goes around my ears just like snapped in half. It's really weird, and disappointing. Are you glued on already? I cannot tell. You are not. I actually don't want that there. Are you glued on? You're not glued on. So with the logo and the scripts and the comic off my plate by Sunday, right? Like before the start of next week, I can switch my focus to learning the fucking safety handbook, which I'm like, well, how can I feel both so old and so young at the same time? I do not know. But once, I guess I'll hold that there until it dries. Once I feel comfortable with the material, I can then go get my permit. Packing, I've kind of started doing slowly over time, instead of like blocking off like 3-day stretch where I just pack all at once, because I fucking hate that. It's maddening. Are you dry yet? No? Okay. The biggest dent in my mental stability, which is always kind of teetering on the edge of madness, is that like the focus for a while had been finding a new job, because I'm miserable at work, and I don't. There's only a couple people there that I enjoy the company of, and then there's the rest of them that aren't just like miserable to be around, but like actively make me have a panic attack, which not great. Well, fuck you too. All right, down to 7 raspberries. Where do I want to put them? I do kind of like building this up more on that side. So I'm going to put that there. Maybe like put one more here. Can I see that? I can't. I should probably cover that little part of the base up. Maybe like... once this is done, I'm going to light it from above so you can see a little bit more of the depth. Right now it's being lit from the sides and from above, so the shadows really only right here because there's no light on this part of the thing, which doesn't help the depth of it. Like it looks like a mound in like this way, which is not what I want. Again, I want a mountain, not a mound. So because I am taking on a lot, and because I've done enough work with myself as far as my mental health, I'm being really diligent about not falling into a depression, because like I'm really happy with where I am with my art stuff, and a really great way to fuck that up is to fall into a depressive stupor. That's not a word I want to use. And I, again, sorry, this mic's like right where my hand needs to be. Move it over here. There we go. But as much as I'm like, I'm aware of it, so it won't happen. I'm also aware of the signs, right? So for me, I really enjoy reading comic books and watching movies. And I've noticed that my movie and comic book watching and reading have been less enjoyable. Even like there's a part of my brain's like, I recognize that this is a good comic book. I'm reading Batman, the Adventures Continued, the Continued Adventures, whatever. And it's good. Like I'm enjoying it theoretically. But the actual part of my brain is like, you're enjoying a thing. Here's some delicious serotonin. It's not doing that, which is not great. And I recognize that, and it's like, well, what? Oh no, get out of there. Like what can I do about that? Because I've already thrown all the shit overboard that can be thrown. Pull any to try to I don't know what that. It would be a good like short-term solution, but long-term not so much. So I'm trying to sleep. I'm trying to get like a good night's sleep every night. I'm trying to, God damn it, 7 burns. Trying to make sure that I'm sleeping well, that I'm eating well-ish. Man, like another way I can tell that I'm not doing so hot is that like all I want to eat is ice cream and cookies and just all the dessert and pizza. It all sounds so good to me just saying it right now, but I also know probably should eat a salad, some Brussels sprouts, which is stuff that I enjoy, but binging on snack food is like a quick serotonin boost. Let me see here. I feel like maybe I should build this up over here because this area is kind of lacking. I mean, it's not even gonna be in the picture probably. Let me see, maybe like one right. I've run out of fingers. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll build up this side, and then that'll be it. And I'll make then once I have all that, then I'll glue this top one down because I'm going to have to like move it in order to do that. So sleeping, forcing myself to eat some veggies, which is not hard. That's not the hard part. The hard part is keeping myself from eating all of the ice cream. Staying social to a degree. Being an introvert's also like really easy to burn myself out being social, but also if I isolate too much, that's not great either. And like maybe most important of all is I recognize intrusive thoughts. So I know around like 11 at night, right? That's when they start to slip in. I'm like, do we really need to think about that one thing I did wrong like 12 years ago or longer even? Or that like one thing I said that I was like, ah, man, that came out wrong. No, I mean, you never need to. That's the past. And when you focus on the past is the cause of depression. And then if you focus on the future, that is the cause of, that is where anxiety lives. Because you're anxious about the thing that you have no control over to a degree. Let me see here. So when it's late and I'm like having intrusive thoughts, I'm not I don't like vocally say like, Jack, let's sit down and have a talk. It's more like I recognize this is a thought that is derives from anxiety or stress. I won't put a whole lot of weight on it. I'm probably just need to get to sleep. And I'm pretty good at that. But there's a difference between acknowledging that you're having intrusive thoughts, acknowledging the feeling, and then letting it move on, right? That's kind of like what they say when you're first learning to meditate, which is I'm not good at. Like when I say like, when they teach you how to meditate, like I don't freaking know either. But I do remember this one thing I read that like when you have thoughts, when you're starting to meditate and you're just learning how to do that, you're gonna have thoughts that come into your head, and you're not supposed to say like, get out. You acknowledge it, that it exists, that you've had it, and then you let it float by like a cloud. You are a mountain, and it is a cloud that has passed by, which I really like that image. All right, got 3 buggers left. Do I want to try to like make it come up around here a little bit, or do I like that corner sticking out? Those are good questions. So I'm good at recognizing intrusive thoughts, but there's a difference between letting it float, acknowledging it, and letting it float away, and pushing it deep down, where it will eventually resurface, and probably as a panic attack. I'm definitely better at doing that second thing, which is easier in the moment. Like I've been really stressed about work, and like one of the ways that if I'm suppressing that anxiety, one of the ways that it comes out for me is in my dreams, where like even though I haven't been in, I graduated from high school in 2005. I'm like, I'm late for class. Chemistry is I haven't been there all semester, and I also have to get to work on time, and I'm still wearing my work clothes, but I'm at school, and the halls are super crowded because everyone's trying to get to class on time. That was my dream last night. Someday I'll stop dreaming about failing chemistry. I didn't fail. I just didn't do super well. I like that there. That's nice. There. a little bit there. So what should I do about? I feel like I like stuck one, like placed it to see how it looked out there. Like one of you is not glued down. Like don't lie to me. See, I can see that corner sticking out on the stream, but I don't know that I would see it in the actual photo. I'm going to stand up and look at it from the top down. Oh, my knees. Okay. Let me see it up my shirt. I'm gonna see like right, like from here to here. It's really good video I'm shooting right now. Maybe I'll just, because it looks a little too planned, right? Ish. So I kind of want one like just like jutting out, because it has no because it has no business doing such. And then I can put that feller right there. Yeah, good talk. So I've got this, all these things that I'm trying to work on. I haven't planned it out. The work anxiety, I don't know. It's like, because it is an external thing, it's an external threat, right? Like, so it's my fuck, that one really hurt. 8 burns and counting. Because it's an external threat, triggering trauma from my past. The thing to do with trauma is to kill it. It's difficult because you go to therapy. Like I do talk therapy. There's also a type of therapy called, that doesn't blister. I think it's called EMDR. And that targets your brain. It triggers both the left side and the right side of your brain to work together to work through trauma, right? It sounds like straight up science fiction to me. Everyone I know who's done it is like, it's like the best thing I've ever done for myself, but it's very taxing, right? Like once you start that shit, you have to devote yourself to it for a minute. Not saying it's like only a master can do this. It's just like you gotta. It's like learning anything new. Like you need to put time aside to learn it. Which, if you've been listening, you know I don't have. But the therapist that I see, the one I do like talk therapy with is excellent. So I think we're just gonna put that one there, and then I'll do some painting touch-ups, and then glitter it. All right, use stick. So like so. Yars. So I'm gonna need a little bit of glue. There. There. Oh, you don't belong there. I think you're part of the videotape. Ha ha. Ow. Okay. Well, didn't need that. Well, now that's just a part of my skin. I think that might have been part of the like VHS that melted off. I don't know what the fuck that was, but it hurt. I'll put paint over that because you can see that little black area. I mean, it kind of just looks like space in between, but also you. So yeah, ow, fuck. I need a better setup. So wait. I'm trying to do one thing at a time. It's like right now, I'm existing in the present. I'm working on this. I'm talking to the void of the internet. Then after this, probably watch some like anime or something, and then go to bed. Read comic and go to bed. I'm trying not to think about like the next 6 things I need to do. Like the reason I make a list is so that like I have those things. I'm not going to forget about them, but I'll think about them once it's time to look at the list again. So get a couple things crossed off this weekend. The important thing for me, because I'm really good at this, is don't add more shit to the list once you've crossed things off. Like, I've gotten a couple steps ahead on this project. Time to start a new one. All right, so I'm gonna do some like reinforcing blue. Yeah, especially on this feller. I switched to my older glue gun from the last time that I was gluing raspberries, and that was a mistake because I am realizing, burns hotter and has a taste for human flesh. And it's had some. Believe you me. So next time I do a hot glue project, I'll be using the other one that I have and not this malicious bastard. I don't mean to. I feel like a lot of these videos, I'm like, I'm anxious about everything and everything's gonna go wrong. I'm pretty excited about the shit that I'm doing, but years of failure and trauma have congealed into an unflushable mass. So I just need to remind myself that you're like a pro with anxiety. You've had this anxiety for like so long, man. You know exactly how to deal with it, ish, kinda. I mean, more so than other people who don't have the tools. And while I'm kind of like rambling at the internet, that is true. If Wilna and I had that same conversation just a year or two ago, not a year or two ago, but like three or 4 years ago, it would have been rough. Like, we were out, we ate out, which like even that didn't go well just because of the restaurant was fucking obnoxious. Like we ate out, and then we were talking afterwards, and like it sank my mood, right? Like I dropped, but then almost immediately afterwards, I was able to like put it in context, form a plan, and then we went and got ice cream. Like I didn't like bounce back up to the heights that I was in a pretty good mood that day. I didn't like bounce the whole way back up, but I also didn't fall into a deep depression, which is what would have happened in the past. All right, let me see what I can do here. I really don't like that. Like, what are you? Are you a piece of plastic? I mean, I guess it's hot glued in there, so it's not going anywhere. Just have to kind of paint over it, I guess. And I think because I've had some real shit times, the thought of like, oh, you were taking steps forward to do the things that you want to do with your life are scary. Because if you're actually trying to do that, then you can fail. Or it's a little safer to not. Okay. All right. You did it, Jack. You glued all the raspberries. Let me. Where's my paint? I got some paint. I'm gonna unplug this hot glue gun so I can stop burning the shit out of myself. Let's make sure I'm unplugging the right thing. There we go. Be gone, demon. All right, I already got my paint. Let's get you out of here. Paintbrush. I have to wait till that's pulled down a little bit more. I do have some stuff to look forward to. Going to go quote unquote camping in the nearest future. We rented a cabin. Pretty excited about that. Those black parts. I mean, I guess I don't know if you'll even see them. I mean, a little bit. First, just probably get rid of some of that glue. Well, like a great kind of weekend getaway, just to get out of the city. Well, yes, I'm still watching the fucking video. Nope. Yeah, that'll do her. Like a lot of state parks have. I think they're called cozy cottages, or they were previously, and then they realized how silly that was. I forget what they call them now, but okay. Fuck you. Fucking hot glue gun. Like rent them for the weekend. Go up there. Honestly, like most time, like I do really like the woods, and I'll go for a brief hike. But like the last time I went up, I just like brought a book and read and drew for most of our little trip up there. It like rained most of the time. It was great. I guess they had like a screened-in porch. I sat on a picnic table and drew. It was like storming. It was like storming sideways outside. It was great. So I'm like, if I can get most of the shit done off this list, because I've gotten better at making lists that are actually achievable. I used to be like, become. I think, oh my god, I did like a 5-year plan several years back where it's like become Pittsburgh famous. I'm like, well, didn't quite hit that mark. Maybe smaller goals. So it's like paint a logo or sculpture that'll at some point become a logo. Where else needs some? I think there's. I'm gonna call them pits. I think these pits just read as pits. Like I don't think they read as. So like most of these are plastic blackberries, and then there's probably about 20 that are red, like raspberries, like red, like a deep red. It looks like I got most of those ones covered, right? But there's a couple of the black raspberries where you can kind of see inside where I couldn't get the spray paint. And like the reason I even spray painted them was because the acrylic gold holds really well to the spray paint. Whereas I'm trying to put some of the acrylic gold in the pit now, and it's just like, nah, don't bother. But then I'll spray, use the adhesive spray, put some glue on it. I'll probably mount the VHS to the top. I don't know that it's necessary, but I will. Oh shit! I think what didn't help, what also didn't help was the hot glue gun. Anywhere the metal of it touched anything, it was just like, I shall melt through you, and that's exactly what it did. It sure did melt through that little bit of, like, this is a red one, and I don't know if you can see, but like I can see that it melted through the gold, through the glitter, through the spray paint, and revealed some pink raspberry underneath. I mean, like, as far as the logo goes, like the icon's going to be so small as far as when you're like looking at the icon of the podcast. I know you won't see it, but I'll know. It reminds me of, I forget where I was listening to a podcast where somebody had visited one of like the old like Hollywood museums, and they had the 60s Riddler costume, from the Adam West Batman. And they're like, yeah, they just like hand drew the question marks on there. I'm like, oh yeah, you would. I mean, like, you could probably tell now with like high definition TVs, but yeah, you'd have like no idea, right? It's just looks not professional, but fuck. Hey there, Aaron. Oh, you missed a whole bunch. I've been on for, I think, about an hour. Mostly just bitching, the huge. I burnt myself a whole bunch, so you missed that. I think we ended up at 9, 9 burns. Noise. But like I glued the rest of the new raspberries on there, and I'm just doing like touch ups. And then I really do want to get this done, so I will spray it during the stream and then glitter it. I don't know what you'll be able to actually see, but it's all right. That was too much paint. Yes, it was. All right, this mic's got to move away from my hand. For anybody who's watching the Instagram live stream, I'm also streaming to my Twitch, which is why I like looking over there. And to the people who are watching on Twitch, I'm also streaming to Instagram, doing a live stream. The Twitch is focusing more on what my hands are doing, and the Instagram is a little bit more on my face. Just in case you're wondering what delicious flavors you're missing out. So I know I just said like do one project at a time, but tomorrow I'll be at work. It's my weekend of work. And the weekends are great for writing specifically or drawing, but like the part where I am in the drawing process, I couldn't really do at work. Like I'd be bringing in this giant piece of card stock, and there's like I'd have to have my new magnifying glasses. Fuck you, Mike. Get out of the way. Oh. Rip the mic out of its stand. Fuck you, Mike. In theory, I'll be getting a desk with more fucking room. This setup is ridiculous. What was I saying? Yeah, so like tomorrow I'm gonna finish up the Battlefield Earth episode script of DeRazzled. And then either that, well, my goal was to finish inking the final panel of the Knife Picker comic. I don't know that I can do that all one day, especially because I'll be getting home late both days. But close. All right, is it touched up enough? I'll give it maybe a minute to dry. Let's look at it from this angle. I did have a couple people ask where they can listen to the DeRazzled podcast, and the answer is nowhere. It's mine. I do it for me. Fuck you. No, it's not. We haven't put it out yet. I want to get a couple episodes recorded before put it out there, so that I don't like put out the first one or two and then the third episode comes out a month or two after that. Get a little bit of a back catalog put together, and then we'll release it. But don't you worry. Once I actually have something to, God damn it, actually promote, you will not stop hearing about it. All right, Jack, stop painting. Let it dry. It's shiny enough. Originally before Tuesday happened, my initial estimate for when the podcast was going to come out would have been late August, early September. Now I'm not so sure, because my goal is to have four in the bag before I put out one, and two are completely recorded and edited. Neither of them have the intro song yet because it's not recorded, which is also a thing that is on my list of things to do. But like I specifically want to do a Halloween special everything. But like for the podcast, I want to do Nothing But Trouble. And in order for us to release it on time, we'd need to record it in September. So I think we can still make that. I think that's still doable as long as nothing else really stupid fucking happens. But I think instead of there being like 4 or 5 episodes before the Halloween special, it'll be the ones that are already planned, right? Like, so it'll be Wild Wild West, Battlefield Earth, our Batman bonus episode will be number 3, and then after that will be White Chicks, which originally it was going to be like White Chicks and then Avatar and then maybe one more and then Halloween. We'll see. I kind of yawned. As I'm going along, I'm kind of like, oh, so like the first the very first episode we didn't really improv it, but like we just went as we went. And the second episode I had more of an outline, and in this episode part of it being that it's because it's Battlefield Earth and it's god awful and it needs a little bit more thought put into it. There's like a full script with like only a handful of things are outlined. Like the critique part, it's just like what needs fixed for the acting. John Travolta. Like, they don't write out like 6 paragraphs of why John Travolta's performance is awful. Like that sticks with a man. Like I can talk about that ad nauseum without writing it out. All right, I'm for real done painting. I'll take a second to let that dry. All right. Oh man. God. And then we'll have to see how many we can get in before the Christmas special, which at the current rate, like if this were my only project, I could probably get an episode out every Tuesday, but right now I think it's gonna be like every other Tuesday or something like that. All right, okay. Did I lose you, Aaron? Or are you still hanging in there? Okay. Yeah. That's kind of what I was going for. Yeah. I would show you the mock-up that we did, but I would need my phone for that, and it's currently streaming my face. Okay. This is just like the worst idea. I don't know that I'm going to do this. So if I spray this here, it's going to get all over everything. And while I think it would make incredibly bad video, I think I might step aside, spray it, and then bring it back. Because the first time I sprayed it, I did do it. I had much less equipment at that time, but it took forever to like get my webcam cleaned off, and like my laptop's a touch screen. I'm like, this is grimy. I don't like it. Oh, hey, Aaron. So I'll give this like another minute to dry, and then I'll step aside and spray paint it or spray adhesive it, and then I'll step back and we'll do some glitter, and then that'll be it. Like I don't really think it needs anything else. I mean, there's some like small stuff. Well, first of all, I need to like clean the glitter out of the grooves on this VHS tape, and like there's some gunk on the plastic part here where you can kind of see into the tape. Like, do I want to keep that or not? I don't know. Because the logo will be added digitally. How's it looking to you, Aaron? No, you're not looking at it the angle that I will eventually be presenting it, but I see. That's right. I forgot that you'd said you weren't feeling so hot. Well, I hope you feel better. That sucks. As I said earlier, we pushed back the recording of us of the Battlefield Earth episode. The dudes were Joe and Steve were very kind and understanding, and I was like, guys, I'm really sorry. Like I don't like looks decent, huh? All right. Well, I'll keep working on it until you say it's super duper. But yeah, I was like, felt really bad that I was inconveniencing the dudes, but they're like, no, are you okay? Because I hadn't told them like why I needed to cancel it. I was just like, yeah, some like family shit came up, which is the most generic way of saying shit hit the fan a little bit. All right, I shall be right back. I'm gonna step aside and spray this. And I have to grab the glitter. Oh gosh. Oh, this is gonna make some good good radio. Oh. All right, so just kidding. We're not gonna glitter it because I can't find the fucking glitter. I mean, I know it's gotta be in like one of our places. Anyway, so the next time you'll see the logo, it'll be done. I'm really excited to show you guys what it looks like. Even just the mock-ups I was pretty happy with. But yeah, I think that's we're gonna stop for tonight. I'm gonna do nothing for like an hour. It's gonna be great. Thanks for listening to me whine about life. Again, millennial existential dread. It's my shit. Glad you could come and hang out and talk about it.